The most selfish thing you can do is not put yourself first. Now, let's give an example. Every commercial flight tells you the same thing. Put your mask on before assisting others. Okay? This isn't a suggestion, it's physics, right? An unconscious person cannot save anyone. Okay? Society inverted this, especially for caregivers, oldest siblings, immigrants, providers. The programming is others first always. That programming produces depleted people who mistake exhaustion for virtue, right? But this goes deeper than self-care. This is about identity. So we're going to take a deeper dive into this topic here today because a lot of people out there think that just because they're in motion, they're making progress. And a lot of times people are putting other people first in their lives and taking care of all of these other people in their lives. And they think that they're doing so much. But at the end of the day, like, you're not putting yourself in a better position. And if you really care about helping your loved ones, helping people that need the help, like, the best way that you can help them is put yourself in a better position to be able to even help them more. Okay? Now, some people don't just help others. They are the helper, right? Their entire self-concept is built around being needed, right? And this is where the real problem lives, right? When your identity is, I am the one who sacrifices, I am the one who shows up, I am the one that comes to other people's aid, you will unconsciously resist your own growth because growth would threaten that identity. And those two identities will clash because both identities can't exist at the same time, because you can't prioritize others and prioritize yourself at the same time. Like, one has to be the priority. And you'll stay broke to keep being relatable. Like, you'll stay small to keep being needed. You'll keep giving so you never have to face who you are when you stop. All right. Now, here's an historical example. Harriet Tubman. She didn't free slaves by staying enslaved, right? She got out first, and she built herself into someone capable of going back 13 times and leading 70 plus, more than that, actually, like, people to freedom, right? And her self-investment was the precondition for her impact. If she had stayed behind to support others in the moment, none of them would escape. Okay, so sometimes you have to be the leader. Sometimes you have to be the one that steps out and focus on you, be the black wolf, the black sheep, and figure things out to be able to help other people better, right? But sometimes when you stay where you are and, try to help people as best as you can, like, a lot of times no progress is made and you just end up being in a cycle, right? Now, the world doesn't need more depleted helpers. It needs more people who did the work on themselves first and, came back with something real to offer. Now, the real cost of not going first, right? Now, here's the thing. Like, there's a hidden tax on self-sacrifice and it compounds, right? Now, like, when you are going through this time and period in your life where it's just focused on, like, self-neglect, like, that energy, that vibration is, like, so heavy, right? Because love is the currency of God. Love is the currency of the universe. So if you're not really expressing that love to yourself, right? And you're in a state of self-neglect, this is what that actually produces, like low vibrational emotions like resentment. You give and give, and eventually you start keeping score, right? That's not generosity anymore. That's a debt you're building, right? Then you start putting ceilings. You can only take people as far as you've gone yourself. A broke financial advisor, a depressed therapist, an out of shape personal trainer, right? Your unworked limitations become other people's limitations. Right? You can only take people as far as you've gone yourself, right? So if you have a goal, if you have an intention to create financial freedom, to be a multi-millionaire, to achieve all of these things, like, and you want that for the people that you love, if you want that for the people that you around you, like, you got to be able to achieve it. So then you can help them and put them in a better position to be able to achieve that. But if you keep operating from where you are and not from where you want to be, you'll always stay where you are. Okay? Now, here's another example, right? Like Nikola Tesla. Like, he gave almost everything, his time, his patents, his health, to his work and others. He died broken alone, right? He died broken alone. Like, one of the greatest inventors of all time that we've known died broken alone, right? His brilliance was undeniable, but his self-neglect was catastrophic, okay? And contrast that with someone like Carnegie, right? Who invested in himself, built an empire, and then gave away $350 million, right? Carnegie focused on himself first. He built an empire that allowed him to be able to help others and put them in an even better position to succeed, okay? Whereas Tesla, he gave and depleted himself and ended up dying broke and alone, right? The sequence matters. Build first and put you in a better position to give from surplus, okay? Now, here's what sparked this whole conversation. I was on a sales call last week with a woman who had been wanting to change her life for 9 years, which is a very long time. Like, you've been wanting to change and you haven't been able to change, right? And she's a nurse, like, really nice lady, heart of gold, right? Her whole identity is pretty much like giving, right? Takes care of her patients, takes care of her family, takes care of everyone in her orbit. Now, but when I started asking her about herself, when I started to unpeel the layers, her goals, what she wanted, what she was building, she had almost nothing. Not because she wasn't capable, because she had never given herself permission to be the priority. Like, her whole identity was built around being the caregiver. And she didn't know who she was outside of that role. And I think that's something that a lot of people deal with today. Okay. And when we started unpacking that, something really shifted. She realized that 9 years had passed, not because the opportunity wasn't there, so to say, but because she had been investing everything into everyone else and leaving herself with nothing. No energy, no bandwidth, no belief that she deserved it. And, that woman has a massive heart. But, a big heart running on empty doesn't really help anyone. We've all heard the term, you can't pour from an empty cup, right? The best version of her, the version that actually transforms her patients, their lives, that shows up fully for her family. That version requires her to invest in herself first, not eventually, first. Puts her in a better position to help the people that she loves, right? Now, here's something concrete that we could, walk away from this with, right? Stop defining yourself, the first shift, right, is from role to identity. Stop defining yourself by what you do for others. Start defining yourself by who you are becoming, the person you want to be. Because we don't get out of life what we want, we get out of life who we are, right? A man in growth is always more valuable than a man in sacrifice. All right, here's the second shift. Boundaries are spiritual discipline. What does that mean? Every time you say no to something that drains you, you're saying yes to your purpose. You're saying yes to what will give you fulfillment. You're saying yes to your calling. Boundaries aren't walls. They're how you protect the energy required to build something real. Right? And the third shift, your elevation is your contribution. This is the mindset of the truly wealthy. When you look at Maslow's hierarchy of human needs, at the top of the pyramid is self-actualization. And the reason why is that the most important thing, the most valuable thing, the most thing that we will ever get fulfillment from is just becoming the best version of ourselves. Right? When you level up, your ceiling becomes the floor for everyone connected to you. Right? Your kids inherit a different starting point, a different life, different opportunities. Your clients get a more capable version of you, somebody that can help them get better results. The people in your circle get pulled upwards by your growth, right? And everybody starts to level up. You growing is the gift. okay? Putting yourself first is not selfish. It is the most responsible decision you can make for everyone who depends on you. The men who are genuinely winning in business and relationships and health and purpose, they made a decision at some point to stop waiting for permission and start investing in themselves without apology. That's not ego, that's leadership. Stop performing sacrifice and start building, okay? Put yourself first. If this hit, subscribe, turn on notifications, and send this to somebody that needs to hear this. Peace, love, and abundance. MJ the Mastermind signing out.